The secret of great teamwork. Today's teams are different from the teams of the past. They are more diverse, dispersed, digital, and dynamic. With frequent change is membership, but will teams face new hurdles, their success still hangs on a core set of fundamentals for group collaboration. The basics of team effectiveness were invented by Richard Hackman, pioneer in the field of organization behavior, who began studying teams in more than 40 years of research here uncovered a groundbreaking insight. What matters most in collaboration is not the personalities, attitude, or behaviors style of team members. Instead, what teams need to thrive are certain enabling conditions. In our own studies, we found that three of the Hackman's conditions, a compelling direction, a strong structure, and a supportive context, continue to be particularly critical to team success. In fact, today, those three requirements we also see that modern teams are vulnerable to two corrosive problems as versus them thinking and incomplete information. Overcoming those pitfalls requires a fourth critical condition, a short mindset about the research. Over the past 15 years, we've studied teams and groups in a variety of contemporary settings. We conducted 9 large research projects in global organizations, undertaking more than 300 interviews and 400 surveys with team leaders and managers. The team involved worked on projects in product development, sales, operation, finance, R&D, senior management, and more in a wide range of industries including software professional, services, manufacturing, natural resources, and consumer products. In addition, we have conducted active education sessions on team effectiveness for thousands of team leaders and members. Their stories and experience have also shaped our thinking. The key takeaway for leaders is this: Tau teams face an increasingly complicated set of challenges, and a relatively small number of factors have an outsized impact on their success. Manager can achieve big returns if they understand what those factors are and focus on getting them right. The enabling conditions. Let's explore in greater detail how to create a climate that helps doers. Disperse digital dynamic teams, what we like to call for the teams attain high performance, compelling direction. Completion direction, the foundation of every great team, is a direction that energizes, orients, and energizes its members. Teams cannot be inspired if they don't know what they're working toward and don't have explicit goals. Those goals should be challenging, modest, and don't motivate, but not so difficult that the team becomes disciplined. That also must be consequential. People have to care about achieving a goal, whatever rewards like recognition, pay, and promotions or intrinsic rewards such as satisfaction and a sense of meaning. On for the team's direction is especially crucial because it is easy for a far-flung members from dissimilar backgrounds to hold different views of the group's purpose considered on global team. We stopped all the members agreed that serving their client was their goal, but what that meant varied across location. Members is Norway equipped it with providing a product of the absolute highest quality, no matter what the cost. Their colleges in the UK, however, felt that if the client needed a solution that was only 75% accurate, the less precise solution would better serve that client solving. The tension required a frank discussion to reach consensus on how the team as whole defined its objective. Strong structure. Strong structure. Teams also need the right mix and number of members optimally design tasks and process and norms that discourage destructive behavior and promote positive dynamics. High performing teams include members with a balance of skills. Every individual doesn't have to possess superlative technical and social skills, but the team overall needs is healthy dose of both diversity is knowledge, vibes, and perspectives, as well as in age, gender, and race, can help teams be more creative and avoid group things. Team members from diverse backgrounds often interpret a group's goals differently. This is one area where for the teams often have an advantage is research we conducted at the World Bank. We found that teams benefited from having a blend of cosmopolitan and local members, that is, people who have lived in multiple countries and speak multiple languages, and people with deep roots In the area they are working in, cosmopolitan members bring technical knowledge and skills and expertise that apply in many situations, while locals bring country knowledge and insight into an area. Politics, cultural, and test is one of the bank's themes. This combination proved critical to the success of a project upgrading an urban slum in West Africa. A local member pointed out that a microcredit scheme might be necessary to help residents pay for the new water and sanitation service planned by the teams, while a cosmopolitan member shared valuable information about problems faced in trying to implement such programs in other countries, taking both perspectives into account. The team came up with a more sustainable design for its project. Adding members is of course one way to ensure that a team has the requisite skills and diversity, but increased size comes with cost. Larger teams are more vulnerable to poor communication, fragmentation, and free riding due to a lack accountability in the executive season will lead. We frequently hear managers lament that teams become bloated as global experts are pulled in and more members are recruited, increased by from different location, division, or function. Team leaders must be vigilant about adding members only when necessary. The aim should be to include the minimum number. And no more. One manager told us that anytime she receives a request to add a team member, she asks what inquired value the person will bring to the group. And in cases where the team is already at capacity with current members will realize it. Team assignments should be designed with equal care. Not every task has to be highly creative or inspiring. Many require a certain amount of drudgery, but leaders can make any task more motivating by ensuring that the team is the responsible for a significant piece of the work from beginning to end, that the team members have a lot of autonomy in managing that work, and that the team receives performance feedback on it. With for the items, teams people in different locations often handle different components of a task, which raises challenge. Consider a software decision. Team based in Santa Clara, California, that sent chunks of code to its counterparts in Bangalore, India to review overnight. But in one such team, we spoke with division of labor was demotivating because it left the Indian team members with a poor sense of how to piece of code fit together and how murmur the developers in Bangalore got feedback only when what they sent back didn't fit reporting and intermodal dramatically increased their motivation and engagement and improved the quality, quantity and efficiency of their works. The structural dynamics can also undermine collaborative efforts with information pleasure people to confer avoid responsibility cast blame and so on teams can reduce their potential for dysfunction by spell out a small number of things members must always do, such as arrive at meeting on time and give everyone a turn to speak and a small number. They must never do, such as installing such norms is especially important when team members operate across different national, regional, or organization cultures and may not share the same wire. Or for example, the importance of punctuality and in teams or all membership is full explicitly writing norms at regular intervals is key. Supportive context. Having the right support is the tight condition that enables team effectiveness that includes maintaining a reward system that reinforces good performance and information system that provides access to the data needed for the work and an educational system that offers securing the material resources required to do the job, such as funding and technology assistance, while no team ever gets everything it wants. Leaders can hit off a lot of problems by taking the time to get the essential pieces in place from the start. Ensuring and supportive context is often difficult for teams that are geographically distributed and digitally available to members may vary a lot. A new product development team at General Mills that focus and consumer goods for the Mexican market, while Jim was based in the United States in Minnesota. Some members of his team were part of a wholly owned subsidiary in Mexico. The team struggled to meet its deadlines, which caused friction, but when Jim had the opportunity to visit his Mexican team members, he realized how poor it was and now strict and were for both capital and people, particularly in comparison with the headquarters staff in that one visit. Jim frustration turned and admiration for how much the Mexican colleges were able to accomplish with so little assumed were due to a clash between cultures where actually the result difference is resources. Short mindset. Establishing the first to enabling condition will pave the way for team success as Hackman and his colleagues showed, but our research indicates that today teams need something more distance and diversity as well as digital communication and changing membership make them especially them thinking and incomplete information. The solution to both is developing a shared mindset among team members, something team leaders can do by fostering a common identity and common understanding. In the past, team typically consisted of a stable set of fairly homogeneous members who worked face to face and tend to have a similar mindset, but that's no longer the case, and teams now often perceive themselves not as one cohesive group but as several smaller subgroups. This is a natural human response. Our brains use cognitive shortcuts to make sense of our incredibly complicated for and one way to deal with the complexity of for the team to lump people into white our subgroup whether it's our function, our need, our region, or our cultural more positive than others, and that habit often creates tension and hinder collaboration. That's a problem, dear friends.